All right, what's up, YouTube? So we're here doing another deck tech. This is Zach's Golgari Bolas Citadel combo deck.
Yes, sir.
What was your record tonight?
2-2.
2-2.
Only because I had to drop the one game
Oh,
because of that draft mishap, whatever.
yeah. That was the, you lost to me that round.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go over the list today, or right now. So we've got 4 Llanowar Elves. I'm going to do this totally out of order. I'm going through the creatures first, I think. So 3 Incubation Druids, 4 Merfolk Branchwalkers, 4 Wild Growth Walkers, 4 Jadelight Rangers, 4 Wayward Swordtooth, and then I put these, we'll do that. 2 Verdant Sun's Avatar. Then we've got 2 Gaia's Blessings, 3 Path of Discoveries, a Samut Tyrant Smasher, 2 Varaska Golgari Queen, 1 Command the Dreadhorde, 1 Ugin the Ineffable, and 3 Bolas' Citadel. And then we've got, looks like a very typical Golgari mana base, 4 Overgrown Tombs, 4 Woodland Cemeteries, a Blast Zone, and what do we have, 8 Forests, and 5 Swamps.
Yep.
All right, so we've got the really boring Explore package here of I'm going to gain a bunch of life and explore and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So that's just kind of like, you're playing green, it's almost like a must-have. But it's actually relevant here.
It absolutely is.
Okay, so what are we trying to do with this deck?
So the main goal of this deck is, like you said, the Explore package, typical. But what a lot of decks don't run is the Path of Discovery, which also gives every creature in your deck the Explore package, which is very relevant because we need to gain the life with Wild Growth Walker because Bolas' Citadel makes you pay life when you play the top card. So the idea is, if you have a Wild Growth Walker, Wayward Swordtooth, Path of Discovery, Bolas' Citadel, you almost are guaranteed to go infinite. And by that I mean, you look at the top card, play it. If it explores and you have a land on top, well,
you draw it.
Cool, you draw it. And if you get a land again, well, you get to play it because Wayward Swordtooth. And you just keep going until, like today, I hit 215 life.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Just today.
But that was in one turn, right?
Right.
You could have gone again next turn.
Exactly. And then the cool thing is Gaia's Blessing, it just, either with the Explorer, you put it in the graveyard, reshuffle it all, or like early game, I've done it multiple times today where I just cast it.
You just needed to draw a card.
Just to draw the card.
Yep.
And that's perfectly fine too.
Yep.
Also,
so what's going on here is, as you're exploring, if you get a Gaia's Blessing, you just choose to put it in the graveyard, and it reshuffles everything. So you can't really deck yourself unless something goes really bad.
Really bad, right. And, I mean, by that point, and actually another really cool thing is the Incubation Druid. You get to explore that, which means you get a counter on it.
Immediately.
So immediately you get to tap the mana. And this deck actually, I saw it played like 1 out of every 30 games online, and I was like, wow, that's kind of a cool deck. But the problem is like, they never could kill you that turn.
They needed the instant damage.
Right, and so I was like, well, how do we do that? And I saw Samut, and I was like, that's not bad. You can pay it for the green, that's fine. And it also has the -1 ability that lets you scry the top card. So if you have the land, just put it to the bottom. And, I mean, that's really all we're doing. Maybe swing with a 34 Wild Growth Walker, gain a bunch of life.
Now, I don't know what this card does.
So, it's whenever
Gain
Verdant
life.
Sun enters the battlefield, or another creature, you gain life equal to its toughness. And that's another great card, because, I mean, if it's on top with Bolas' Citadel, you pay 7, gain 5. So it's basically just paying 2. And then every other creature, like Wild Growth Walker, gains you 3. The Explore guys, not that great. I mean, you gain 1 life, so it's not too cool. But Wayward Swordtooth, gain 5 for 3. It's fantastic.
And then, let's see. So we've got a couple of Varaskas here. What are they here for?
As you guys can see, there is literally no interaction with my opponent's creatures. I mean, she's there to destroy. The +2 is to cycle through the top if I have a land again. I just needed something to help me take care of stuff.
Okay. And then Command the Dreadhorde. We can talk about this.
Right. I mean, realistically, it's just if somebody goes Kaya's Wrath or whatever, I just go, okay.
Yeah, I suppose Ritual of Soot kills almost everything.
Almost everything. I mean, literally everything actually, except for that card.
Yep.
Right, so I'm like, okay, Command the Dreadhorde. And so I run one of just because in that slim chance that it happens, then fine.
Well, and it's just good with the Explore package. Like,
Absolutely.
You're going to pay however much life you can, but then with the walkers, you're just going to gain it all back.
I have run into the problem, though, where I go Bolas' Citadel using Command the Dreadhorde online, not in person, but I was just like, oh,
pay
wait.
6 life, pay X life.
Right. You're actually taking a lot more than you think.
Yeah. And then we've got 1 Ugin, and that's just also for interaction.
Also interaction, taking the top card, moving it. Really great for that, too.
Yep. And then I guess we'll talk about Bolas' Citadel. Oh.
Also, his creature that he creates, explores.
Sure. Yeah.
So, literally all three things I need to help me keep going is that.
Yep. And then, obviously here, the main part of the deck, or the main combo in the deck, is Bolas' Citadel. So you can look at the top card of your library. You can pay life equal to its CMC to cast it. And then, has the sacrifice ability come up?
Not yet, but on Arena there's a couple times where I've realized,
is there a path to victory?
Right. Worst case scenario, they have 1 million tokens. I just cast my whole deck, and then I can just deal 20 damage if they're at 20 or less.
Yep. All right, well, let's move on to the sideboard. So we've got 3 Crawl Harpooners, a Sorcerous Spyglass, 3 Duresses, 2 Moment of Craving, 2 Thrashing Brontodon, 2 Crushing Canopy, and 2 Vraska's Contempts. So I guess let's talk about your matchups today. So round 1, you lost to me because you didn't play.
Exactly.
What'd you play against in round 2?
Round 2, I played against who did I play against? I remember. It was Gruul, Big Things.
Okay.
So the idea of his deck was just to play 3.
Can you deal with this big monster?
Right.
Yeah.
Three dorks, and then he's just playing big creatures. And the really hard part with this deck is it gets quickly blown out by Lightning Strike.
Mm-hmm.
I play the Wild Growth Walker, and boom, I just can't gain life. I can't do anything. So that was that matchup. That's kind of how it went. And then he just played too big of creatures for my Incubation Druid to do anything.
Okay, so how did you sideboard against him in that matchup?
Ooh, sideboarding against him, I brought in the Moment of Cravings and the Vraska's Contempts, just because, again, this deck has no interaction.
Kills little mana dorks, kills big things I can't
Kills
deal
the
with.
big things, and they gain me life, which in a pinch like that, I
Now,
need
was he
it.
playing flying creatures?
Yes, he was actually playing the Rekindling Phoenixes.
Okay.
And
not great against Crawl Harpooner.
Right.
Or Crawl Harpooner's not great against it, because it just comes right back.
And realistically, if I go Crawl Harpooner, Moment of Craving on the token, that's fine.
Sure, it's a 2-for-1 against yourself, so it's not great, but it works.
Most times the Crawl Harpooner is for the big 5/5 Angel.
Yep.
It's just can't deal with flying either.
Against the Lyra Dawnbringer, where First Strike doesn't matter during the fight ability.
Right. So that's really helpful.
I love the YouTube comments about that. Round 3, what'd you play against?
Round 3, I played against Black, Red,
Oh, is it the burn deck?
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing about that matchup, I actually really like that matchup.
Well, yeah, you're trying to gain life.
Right, because Wild Growth Walker goes,
yeah.
Okay, nice burn spell.
Test you on that skewer or that lightning strike.
Right.
You got it? Nope. Cool.
And to be fair, like I said, the burn spells are hard to play against, but if they're using it on my creatures, I am perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, you're surviving longer, and the late game is clearly where you want to be at.
And also the problem with that deck is, I think it's the Thirst card where you lose 3, they gain 3. That's fine.
You don't care about them gaining life.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't target my creatures. Cool.
Yep. And then so how'd you sideboard there, I guess? I don't know if you need much.
Yeah, I just brought in the Moment of Cravings.
Yeah.
That's it. The Vraska's Contempts.
It's expensive to deal with 1 and 2 drops.
Right. So I just brought in the Moment of Cravings because again, this matchup was just fine. I went 2-0.
Did you just take out maybe
or 2-1?
I don't know. What did you take out?
Normally, I take out the Command the Dreadhorde for sure.
Okay.
If I'm taking something out, that's what it is. And if I have to take out more, I might take out a Vraska, and then I just start trimming. So I go 1 Merfolk, 1 Jade Light, and then if I really have to keep going, I I honestly don't know what I would do.
So
Maybe
you didn't really sideboard more than like 4 cards.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, and then round 4, what did you play against?
Round 4, I played against a newer guy. He came in with the pre-built white deck and added a couple cards.
Yep. He had been playing Arena, and he decided to try Paper Magic, and I think he said he played a long time ago.
Yes, yeah.
But he picked up the Challenger deck, and this was his first FNM.
Exactly.
So.
And that matchup sucks. let me just say that, like, for sure, because turn 1, I can play Llanowar Elf, sure. But his turn 1 is just, in turn 2, in turn 3, all explosive. In the turn 3, if he plays the Banalish Marshal, I can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to either take the damage or start losing my creatures.
Yep.
But, and this is just how Magic goes, but if I start playing my stuff and actually getting the combos going, he has no chance.
Yep.
I mean, especially with the Wayward, one of the games, I just kept drawing land, and I was thinking,
just
that's
playing
fine.
2 lands every turn.
Right, and that's fine, because then he ascends, and my 5/5 can block
everything. Yep.
So that was fine, but I ended up going 2-0, and that's the game where I got 200 life. He wanted to watch it out, which I thought was very nice of him, because nobody else let me do that.
Of course.
But
they hit that concede button on Arena.
Exactly. I remember the burn deck was like, "Is this where you combo?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "All right, concede."
I'm done.
Yep.
We're done here.
So yeah.
So
Very
are there
cool.
any cards that you didn't really like in the main deck?
I really don't like the Command the Dread Horde. I mean, I might put it into sideboard later on if I think about it.
What would you replace it with in the main deck?
I've honestly thought about throwing in a Nissa. Because, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's a green deck. Just throw it in. And then also the mana.
It also gives you slightly bigger creatures.
Right. Yeah, it gives
I
me...
assume we're talking about Shakes the World.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, giving you 3/3s every turn is really good.
Now, I don't really know what other cards I could throw in here. Because the problem is, and this is what I've said to multiple people who have asked me, is what do I take out? Mm-hmm. And that's the problem, is because half of these cards, if I take them out,
the deck doesn't function.
And then it just turns into some weird green-black, maybe Explore, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why I didn't change anything. Most of the decks, so it's actually kind of funny, there is one deck list for this online. There's only one. They have no sideboard listed.
Because it's a best of 1 deck.
Right, but then also they have this weird card where it's like -2/-2 to all creatures, but if you have Ascend, it's -2/-2 to only theirs, which I just thought was a really bad card. I get that it's removal.
Well, if it was a best of 1 deck, they just need something against the aggro decks.
Right, absolutely.
So yeah, it's best of 1 decks have very weird configurations sometimes.
Yeah, and one of the decks I had played against online, I saw run Verdant Sun's Avatar. So I was just like, well, okay, we'll take those out and throw these in. And then also threw in the Samet because there's 3.
I like the Samet because I played a Sultai list at one point that had the Explore package in it, and it was like, okay, I can make this huge board, but I can't do anything. Your turn.
And
so I do like the Samet.
You run the risk of passing and then opponent board wiping. And you don't want to give your opponent that opportunity.
Yep. And I think 7 mana dorks is the right number because statistically I believe you should have one on turn 2.
Right.
So I don't think you make any cuts there. I don't think you make cuts here. You were happy with how Swordtooth performed?
Yeah, well,
because that's my thought of maybe you could cut one.
Right. Well, the thing is that like I said earlier, I'm perfectly okay with having 2 in hand and just all lands, because I play 1, play the rest of the lands turn 2, or not turn 2, but the next turn play another.
Yeah.
And now it's online, and I just have 2 5/5s.
Okay. So drawing extras doesn't bother you.
Right.
Okay. So it's basically just maybe take that out and put something in. Any ideas?
Right.
Not really?
Not really. I mean...
Okay. Well, we can talk about the sideboard then. So anything that you didn't like in the sideboard? Did you get to use everything in the sideboard?
Everything but the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Tonight I did not get to use that.
I think you just put this in against a Planeswalker
deck,
yeah.
Right, and that's fine.
And you didn't play against any Super Friends decks.
No,
so.
and I also the Thrashing Brontodon I didn't get to use, and those are honestly, I could either take out those 2 or the Crushing Canopies. I think I like the Crushing Canopies better because I get the option of enchantment or flying. Yeah. But also the Thrashing Brontodon takes care of artifacts. And yeah, I don't know. Because here's the thing: is if I needed really to get rid of the flying,
Crawl Harpooner.
Harpooner.
Yeah. So like, are you putting in 5 cards to take care of their 2 or 3 Lyras in the main deck?
Right.
Or I guess Niv Mizzet or something.
Really, any flyer that just kind of wins the game. You know.
Yep. I don't mind thrashing Brontodon because he kind of stonewalls red decks.
Yes.
They have a hard time attacking into him, and it kills Experimental Frenzy.
Right,
so I
absolutely.
think you keep that. But I also don't know what you'd put in because it doesn't really seem like you need a whole lot of cards, really.
Well, and maybe
Like-
that's where I throw in the Nissas.
Yeah.
Maybe
Or maybe like Vivian Reed could be good.
Oh, Vivian Reed, absolutely.
Because you have a lot of creatures to hit with it, and I guess either Vivian really would be good.
Right.
So yeah, some small changes you could make. You planning on playing it again?
Oh, absolutely.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, thanks for watching, YouTube. Garrison's sitting here. Wait, what are you snapping at me for?
You gotta say it.
Oh, yeah, well, I was just saying, Garrison's sitting here, so I got to say it. So if you like the video, hit the like button, and apparently hit the bell.
Yes.
Zach says I have to tell you to hit the bell.
For notifications.
For notifications when new videos go live. And then leave a comment about what you think about the deck, what changes you might make, and then be sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching.